In this thing that we find ourselves in, this whatever, this simulated reality, maybe whatever you want to call it, it creates, I swear, it just creates the most bizarre moments, and there's this cynicism, this whatever it is. I guess it's cynicism. I almost hate to share this, but there's no place else for me to vent. So I just have to just get it out. In this stupid place sometimes, there are scenarios that it sets it up, that are set up for you, and you're thinking, for whose amusement is this exactly? Why is this stupid scenario even playing out before my eyes? I don't know. I mean, somebody's got to be getting a kick out of this somewhere. Somebody's got to be watching it and saying, that's just funny. But I am in this role where I'm forced to act like it's not. I'm forced to just straight face it the whole way through. And right now in my life, I haven't for a long time, I haven't had a buddy around that I can say, that I can just look at and say, do you see what I see here? Is this not ass backwards stupid? But this is, especially with a new job. I mean, the old job, and the old job before that, and the old job before that, they all had the same level of stupidity. I mean, they all do. And so this new one has more organizational players. So there's just even more, it just lends to even more opportunities for this, just the stupid, just the all in all stupid stuff that reality keeps hitting me with. And so when it happens, there's the professional me that's like giving a straight face or a smile or a nod or just whatever they need to see to make them happy. And then there's this whole inner world going on where the absurdity of these things is play out of my mind, and I'm cynical, I'm laughing, I'm joking, and I'm wishing that I had somebody else here with half a brain to just laugh as well, because it's all so stupid. One of the things that this new company has done is rolled me through this wonderfully genius onboarding process. This onboarding that somebody got paid way too much to create, or more likely buy from a third party who put it in a video and they get paid every time that thing gets played. Probably straight from Charles Schwab, or what, Klaus. I always call him Charles. Klaus. Charles is the investment. Klaus is the one who just wants to rule everything. But the stupidity, okay, so I got a whole bunch of great high production profile onboarding training, which is great, except I didn't really need any of them. I had one class for like an hour of my time was to tell me the importance of remembering the pronouns that people want to be called is so important. Skip all the crap that I was taught since I was 2 years old and what seems like common sense. Get that out of my head and don't slip up, for heaven's sake. Because if somebody wants you to call you them or they, not it, them or they, do not slip up with a like he or a she comment. That would be so terribly inappropriate. So, okay, 1 hour of just let me know how important that is. Got it. Next training video. This is how you, okay, now the next training videos were all things that I've been taught 100 times about how to walk and pick up your feet so you don't trip on the crack, how to set up a ladder so that you're not a complete moron and getting yourself killed, how to, respect electricity because it could kill you. All those are great. I've had those all 100 times at least. I've given the trainings on that, but we spent some money so that I could get refreshed, mandatory refreshment of all that. Now, for the stuff that I have to do every day, the stuff that I'm supposed to learn, do you think there was even an ounce of thought for onboarding or training a new guy when it comes to, all right, this is our accounting software, Oracle, Ariba, blah, blah, blah. You have to go in there. You have to know how to create work orders. You have to know how to create purchase requests, how they get approved, the process, the 10,000 buttons, the links, and where to go. Do you think anybody's taken 2 seconds to elbow with me and say, hey, kid, this is how you do this. Here's a sheet. Here's some. Oh my God. The expectation is this is just so common in corporations because they're all idiots. Just drop a person in there like they're parachuting into battle, and now figure it out. Quickly figure it out, for heaven's sake. And it doesn't help that I'm a little older because I've got the stigma of being an old person who doesn't, like technology. And I don't like technology in some sense because this is absolutely stupid. I am being forced, sorry if I sound like I'm complaining, but I'm being forced to go around to buy subordinates who are busy and beg them like a little orphan boy asking for some porridge. Could you please take 5 minutes to teach me how to click this button and this button so I can go to the next step, because I literally can't do anything here. And there's not just one program like this. There's 50 programs like this because we've overcomplicated everything in this world. And there's got to be a million steps, but nobody wants to share them. So that's currently how it's playing out. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And then tonight, I mean, I think I hit my point when, so I had to leave work a bit early today. Personal reasons, I had to cut and run. Meanwhile, I got underlings who are trying to shine because this is the way corporations always are. You got these characters who just must shine. They must have everybody see them as the hero of the day. And it's so funny because a lot of times they have names and faces and personality traits that just fit that comedically so well with great absurdity. And if only I could flash some pictures here of the people I'm talking about, you could nod your head and see, oh yeah. So one of the guys under me, he lives for his opportunities to complain to everybody about how many hours he works and brag about how many hours he works, and that he's just the sacrificial lamb that does everything. He is the company. I mean, that's essentially what he's trying to project. He is. This place falls apart. If he's gone, good luck, y'all, because you're screwed. I mean, that's the message he's always trying to put out there. And everybody, it's just, and this place uses kind of the same systems, the same vendors, the same protocols. I'm so used to this repetitively over and over through the years. So the scenario that happened tonight, first of all, he got his butt kicked because he's been, like I've been as his new supervisor, asking him to do certain things that I needed him to do because pressure from above was getting on to me about him not doing some things. And they were stupid things. They were things that he could obviously do, but he was giving me pushback and giving me crap and just not want to do it. Arrogant as all get out, and doesn't, like, looking at me like, who the heck do you think you even are? Like, you've got no business telling me anything. He just reeks of attitude. So I'm getting this crap from him for way too long, and I'm reporting exactly what he's saying to me to up above, because what else do you want me to do? I'm sorry, I can't force the guy to do these things unless you want me to shift my world completely and just start from the bottom of his world and learn everything, because I don't have the time to have learned everything he has in that role at the moment. So we're kind of dependent on this guy to just do the thing I'm asking him. He doesn't want to do it. So this morning we get on a call with him, and there's, I don't know, about 8 people on the call. Two people above me One of them is chewing his ass out, and they're not. So, but he's doing it in a way like he's just talking to the whole group, like it's a group ass chewing. But everybody, every single person in that group knows they're talking about this guy. Everybody knows he's the holdup. He's got to stop, cut this crap. So he gives, when he's asked directly at the end, are you going to get this done and can we expect it by Friday? He gives this little sheepish, little boy, yes. It just, I'm dying, but I can't, because it's all Zoom and your face is being seen. I can't give too much away, but so he does. He immediately starts working on it because he's like in this, now he's in the oh shit phase where he's worried about getting in trouble because we've kind of got onto him for his BS that he was pulling. He's working his little butt off today, getting stuff done. And then the reality simulation hands him a nice little gift because he so desperately needs to be the hero. So in Texas, I don't know how many days it's been where we haven't had like much rain at all. I mean, the little dusting of things that have blown over have been nothing. Dry as a bone and hot and miserable. So today we had a little bit of a storm. I mean, from what I saw, every place I went, it was just a nice little sprinkle. It was enough to get us a little bit that we needed. Very refreshing. Everybody's thankful. But this stupid place has got some elevators. It's got an elevator bank that runs a parking garage, 4-story garage. And the elevators on the top are very unprotected. And stupidly designed, and I know all elevator companies, I've seen this before, they all could stop this. I guarantee there's a fix for it. I've already thought of a bunch of scenarios in my mind, but are they going to do that? No. There's way too much easy money for these companies, way too much to rake in, because every time a little water gets into that little threshold when the doors open, you can drop a marble down it. Anytime some water pours down there, it rolls down to wherever the elevator cab is. It's never at the top floor. It rolls down that little opening, and that water gets behind the front metallic panels where all the buttons are. That's where all your control panels are. There's no protections put on that. There's not even like a little piece of plastic that fans up to kind of like encourage water push away. They're not going to put that on there. No. So the water gets in the board starts to crap out, and you got a big emergency after hours call, and they're going to hit you, I mean, guaranteed $1,500 or more. Boom, just like that. That's the way elevator companies all work. And so this little sprinkle of a rain, I'm just amazed that if it's happening for this level of a storm, this kind of thing has to be happening all the time. So it happens, knocks out the 3 elevators in the garage. Now, heaven forbid that any of the sugar dumplings that work there, that anybody come in the next morning and find that there's no elevators to bring their butt down to the ground floor so they can walk a mile up to the front door. There's no, that just can't be allowed. that nobody's gonna, there's gonna be one, so there's gonna be one that just can't make that walk down to the first floor. And the lawyers are going to get fired up for that one person because it was obviously discrimination of some sort. This storm conspired to make their day miserable the next day. That kind of thing. So the hero that had his ass chewed out in the morning is there, and I'm imagining this guy. He kind of he's like a bad imitation of John Wayne. Like he wants the swagger and respect of a John Wayne, but it's like a pathetic, real off imitation. So I'm just thinking about this little downpour of rain that was like a little sprinkling, and him like walking to it with exaggerated steps. This is just my imagination playing out the whole scenario. Like he's dressed like Morton Salt Girl. He's taking these exaggerated steps, acting like this gale force winds are knocking him back, and he can barely make it to the scene. and he gets there, and the elevators are down, and he struggles to get his phone out and dial the number to the elevator company and call in this great emergency, and then texting me and everybody else, telling him of his heroic efforts to save the day. And of course, I'm getting his text after 8 p.m. and it's going out, to everybody, hey, heads up, going to have an expense because elevators are all down because a little water got into them and blah, blah. This whole thing, it's just so, and then everybody's chiming in and they're all praising him and giving these little pats on the back like, oh, good job. We're so glad you're there. We're so glad you're on it. This is the way corporations always are. Somebody's got to be the hero and everybody's got to praise the hero. And I've got to praise him too because I'm his supervisor, and I'm just in the back of my mind just rolling my eyes. God, we already have competent people who are working. It's not like there isn't staff there until 11 p.m. Guys who, if you look at the resume, they've done some seriously good, important things in their life, and they can certainly, absolutely handle making a call to me or this other guy where we could decide whether or not we thought overtime was necessary and we want to get a hit with a $1,500 to $3,000 charge tonight, or if it could wait till morning, they could say, hey, do you want to do this? I could decide to make the little call it in, say, hey, can you get out there and meet this guy? Or I could have just gave him the approval. I could have even skipped the step. There's no need for me to even make the phone call. Hey, Jacob, go ahead and call TK, get him to come out there, and we'll authorize overtime. Can you handle that? Can you meet them when they get there? Make sure everything's good. Make sure there's signs out so nobody, heaven forbid, somebody press a button and the elevator not come. Can you put signs up? Yes, thank you. Done. This guy under me doesn't need to work till 8 or 9 o'clock. He could have gone home at 4. Everybody's competent enough to do this. This isn't the end of the world, but we're blowing it up into this event so that we could have our story continue where the guy who gets his ass chewed in the morning can be the hero of the day before he goes to bed that night. Thank you, reality, for giving us this perfect situation where I can just bite my tongue and not say anything about how stupid this whole outcome, because I'm thinking there's a real breakdown in the system here. Number one, why the heck does this little light rain create this much drama and this much expense? Somebody's got to fix that. And I know the corrupt elevator companies are not, but certainly we can do something better. This is stupid. Oh, and then on top of that, we knew the rain was coming, but somehow somebody didn't do their job and closed the dang umbrellas. And I don't know if you've seen the cost of commercial umbrellas, but there's no reason for us to not close those suckers. They cost way too much. They get damaged if a storm comes through and they get pulled out. And they could kill somebody because, flying spears, there's something about that too. So nobody did that either. There's the great structure and organizational and money, and they can't seem to do the simplest things. So I'm rolling my eyes that even had to be a call to me. All these calls tonight, just so stupid. But instead of saying, hey, there's a real problem here that we can't trust our guy who's working tonight making close to $30 an hour, that we don't think he's got the brain power to handle this, that we've got to be there personally as managers. Is that not an issue? Is there some sort of disconnect here? Why the heck do we have the other guy even working if we can't just make a call? God. So these kind of stupid things are in every organization as long as I've ever been, and there's just all these politics and people want to play out their drama and act like they're somebody because they need the strokes. I'm on these conference calls. They don't do like regular meetings anymore. There's just Zoom. Oh, how I hate Zoom. We gotta send an invite, all pop in at the same time. Stupid chatter in the beginning about nothing, and then you get into it and we're all just looking at these faces on the Zooms. and there's so much opportunity for saying the wrong thing, or those trying to attract the attention to themselves that they're just such great geniuses. But the pressure for me is being the new guy. I don't know their systems. I don't know their background. And yet, at the level I'm at, I'm expected to speak. I'm expected to say something. So, it's like the nervousness you have back in high school when you're calling the girl and you want to ask her for a date. It's almost like that. It's like, okay, I've got to say something here. When my turn's going to come up, they're going to want my take on it. Hopefully I'm inspired and I say something that doesn't sound sarcastic and doesn't sound stupid either. And I've had a number of those moments in the last week. Sometimes wins, sometimes fails. I had some good wins today, and fortunately I'd done some due diligence a couple times that saved my butt when I was called on a couple calls. But it's not 100. I'm not batting 1,000. Trust me. I've had some swings and misses, but because the thing is also stupid and exaggerated, and people and the games that we play with each other are so stupid, I tend to just say things a little more outwardly, like, don't you think this is a little stupid, a little extreme? But I try not to be, you got to walk that PC line really close. So that's kind of going with the flow. And the great thing about the world being what it is, and for me having the great revelation that it is what it is, I don't give a dang. I don't give a F. The whole thing, if I do look like an idiot and somebody wants to have a back conversation about, hey, this new guy we hired, wrong hire, let's cut him, I don't care. I mean, that's a big part of my personality right now. Is I'm so done with the whole game of worrying about what these people think of me, or what reality thinks of me, or what reality's trying to get me to worry about tonight. That stuff is just overdone, and it's always there because reality and whoever's watching up there loves the little drama. They love to watch people squirm. They love to watch the hero go to the elevators and save the day. They love to see all the little interactions for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, I know that it can only do so much. And I don't know if there's a contract here. I don't know if I've somehow signed an agreement that, hey, there's a certain amount of shit you can put on me, and that's it. And after that level, you're done. You can't give me any more. Unless I willingly go along with it. And that's the key. It seems like there's a lot of trickery with this reality to say, hey, if I can get him to commit down a path, even though he didn't have to, all he had to do was see that this was BS and call it BS and not step into it. That's all he had to do. But reality's setting up the situations all the time where it's tempting you to step into it, but you don't have to. And even so, I'm not saying that reality can screw me over majorly tomorrow. I mean, I could be living under the bridges at Lancaster. I know it. I accepted that back in 2016 when I saw reality was fake. And I mean Looney Tune fake. When I realized it was that level of fake, I was ready to go under those bridges. I don't care anymore. It was liberating to not care. To really be at that place where you just don't give a flip. Bring your worst. Do it. I'm fine. I'm done. Not going to worry about it. That's a great place to be. Unfortunately, it's not like this perfect nirvana. I kind of slip back into worrying about crap every once in a while, or actually looking at the checkbook, just seeing how much we got left to get through this month, or worrying about a stupid decision, or worrying that I said the wrong thing. It sometimes comes back, but I realize the cycle of it all, and the reality is just always pushing it and always playing this game, and the cynicism is always back in my mind too about how stupid this all is. At some point, can we just be done? Because it is incredibly stupid and repetitive both. And yeah, I do it for I do it for that stupid paycheck. I know it. I'm a sellout. It's not even that I want anything. I'm just trying to do the right things with the people that are in my life that need to have some basics, but we're all getting sucked into the machine and the system, and God, if we could just get away and live independently and free, wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, that's where I am. Big corporate world, big corporate title, lots of stupid BS and things being over dramatized, and people grandstanding, and a whole lot of nothing every single day. And I know that this same scenario is being played out a million times every single day. And tonight, I guess I'm reporting because I have a free moment to share on the stupidity of it all. I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just calling it for what it is and what I see it. The world is jacked up. There's a level of stupidity behind the scenes that I can't even get my mind around. Whose benefit is this here? Who's getting their kicks watching this show? Because it's stupid beyond belief at times. But if you can't do anything but laugh at it, at least do that. I mean, that's the best we got sometimes. So there you have. And I wish I could report on events in the news, but I just haven't. I haven't had the energy or the time to even look. I know that what's happening out there with Biden or whoever the heck's making the news at this moment, I know whatever the heck that is, it's no different than what's happening in my little world melodrama right now. It's all just more of the same. That's all it is. And it's multiplied a billion times over, and the stupidity never ends. The machine keeps crunching out the stupidity, and yet sometimes there are moments that it's amazingly funny at the time too. And that's all we got. Right now, there's some humor in those moments. Enjoy it, scratch my head, and continue. But I just wanted to share. Have a good night.